Hey, Mr. Manager here with today's tip. So, today we're going to be talking about injuries or manipulating things like FMLA or the Federal Leave Acts, those kind of things. Now, it's very hard when somebody gets injured at work, and let me just explain that the first thing you want to do is have that injury reported immediately. And there's a few reasons for that. The first reason is that a lot of these injuries that happen at work need to be done through insurance. And the company's insurance is going to need to make sure that that is filled out the day that it happens. Otherwise, it's very hard to say whether it happened at work or not. So, an employee at work may think that it's not a big deal if they hurt themselves one day and just think, well, I'll see how I feel tomorrow, and if so, I'll bring it up to my supervisor or manager. And they mean well, or they're just don't understand is the thing. And then there's the ones who, maybe they did do something outside of work and they are going to lie about it and say that it happened at work. Unfortunately, you're going to run across both. But it's very important to show and get all the details of what injury happened at work, when and where. Okay, get all the information you can. I would even go as far as taking pictures of items that were involved if they were lifting a heavy box, and get all of the information that you can use to help validate the claim. And so you're working for both them and the company, okay? So you're not trying to make them feel bad for injuring. In fact, it's typically not legal to discipline somebody because of an injury. When they're injured, you want them to come forward so that the problem can be resolved. And there may be some disciplinary action involved to say, you were unsafe with this and that, but don't do it, and that's why you want to encourage safety in general. But again, you need to get all the facts as soon as they happen, or it's very difficult to prove whether it happened at work or not. With that said, you might have people come in knowing that they're injured and you won't know. They might be able to fake it until they decide that this is when it happened. And if you have security cameras or things like that, you can help. Witnesses are good. And even talking with people just to get an idea. Sometimes these people aren't very wise and they will talk to their friends about how they're going to, manipulate the system, that kind of thing. But investigation is a big part of injuries. Most importantly, of course, we want to make sure the person is taken care of. And with that, though, comes the responsibility, due diligence on your part and theirs to make sure that everything is documented of how it happened, why it happened, what could be done to prevent it. And, at this point, you're going to have to proceed with a lot of caution, especially if no one else is around, because, you can do some minor things like ask them if they want an ice pack or some ibuprofen to help reduce swelling, that kind of thing. But you have to be very careful with what actions you take. If you injure them more, that's going to be a problem. So refer to your company policy. It's a good question to ask upper management of how to respond to incidents and injuries and those kind of things. Now, something I want to stress is that as an individual, you can't be too hurt yourself if about the situation, because you can't really control if somebody's going to fake an injury. That's on them. Definitely do your best to try to prove it one way or the other, but don't personally, feel horrible if somebody's doing that. And I've had that happen, and I know that the person was likely faking the injury, but I couldn't let myself feel like I was accountable for their dishonesty. Definitely do all you can if you sense that something is wrong, but don't sit there and accuse them straight out and say, you're a liar and I know you did this outside of work and this and that. Be professional. You're really going to have to learn to hold your tongue and be professional when they say, hey, this is what happens. Just say, okay, let's go ahead and go down to HR and fill out some forms and have them look you over. Okay, don't just snap and say your opinion. You will need to be professional, and professional means sometimes you hold your tongue and you think things through. So anyway, that's today's tip, and I have more videos like this if you're interested in seeing. I have a playlist below, and if you're new, subscribe to the channel. Thanks.